Okay, I finished the neck. About 90% of it's finished. There's some detail to do, but I can't really do that until I start fitting everything together. Now, something important here. I don't use a form to make the violin like normally is done. There's a form that sits inside and they just put the sides around, bend it in. I have, because the plane of this is offset slightly, you can't really bend around corner here. The sides actually have to be shaped, wedged more or less, so that when you bend them, they bend off the parallel downward as this plate's going, as this edge is going downward. Anyways, this box here is what I use to construct the violin. Just basically a wooden box. There's a cutout in here that I've cut out that's the offset of this plane for both the top and the bottom. So they sit in here, either however you want them to sit there. And have little levers here that hold it in place. Now these pins here are for setting the blocks at 90 degrees to the parallel. Now by viewing from this direction to that pin to this pin and lining up the sides, the side blocks and the end block, the front block, you can from 28 different directions see the perpendicular of any one block with these 4 pins just by looking from different angles. Now I have another solid piece that goes on here that I'll put my violin in, that'll rotate very easily so I can spin it as I'm seating the blocks in place. Now once that's done, again, once the sides are up on it, this particular thing here is just a drawer slide more or less that I put a little thing on the front here that this sits on. Now this is adjustable up or down. So when I got the blocks in and I start setting the neck in, this will hold everything in place. Once I have the blocks on, perfectly perpendicular, the height set, then I'll cut and bend the sides and the linings. But next thing I have to do is put the blocks on. I'll use this like for corner blocks. Again, this box is also useful for, there's a light on the inside, very bright light, 100-watt light would do. And you can actually see through the plate, and it'll show you where the thickness, where different colors indicate different thicknesses in the wood, and you can see whole areas of thickness rather than taking. That's why I don't use a micrometer or any kind of measuring device. I use my fingers up to this point, and I'll use the light and my fingers to judge thickness. Now the light's very important. The color of this is very important under the light. When the light, as you'll see later, that I can see a million points that you have to take on it. A million points to get the right thickness, and even then, are you taking a thickness parallel to this downward shape, or are you taking it like a parallel, meaning this way, because it'd be on an angle coming off the plate, so parallel will be there, so your measurement's there. If you take a measurement straight up like this, well, you're really on a hill here, so the measurement's not true. It's like more than it really is. Another interesting thing is one hand will give you one sense of thickness and the other hand another sense of thickness. I believe it's because the left hand is connected to the right brain, which is more, senses things more abstractly. The right hand connected to the left brain is more linear, it actually feels thicker with when you use your right hand. Immediately put your left hand on it and you'll get a more, it's a totally different understanding of the thickness. Anyways, that's what I got so far. So I'm off to cut this into my blocks. I'll use the original end of the block that I used for the top plate to make my blocks and everything. This way it keeps all the wood in harmony, same density. Yes. So, again, like I say, my neck is, I'm pretty happy with the neck. Turned out good. Turned out good. It's beautiful. But to me, just good. Next time. Alright, so I'm going to go off and cut this, and I'll see you later.